Hi, I'm Pastor Jim Meyer. I'm a retired pastor in the ELCA, the Lutheran Church in America. From my collection of In Times Long Ago, I'd like to tell you the story entitled The Homesteader by James P. Meyer. And this is Abbie's story. When I was 21 years old, I took over a section of 640 acres in the Sand Hills of Nebraska. My sister had filed for it at the land office with the intent of homesteading it. Well, when she, her fiancé, and I went out to look at this land, the expanse and the solitude disturbed her as she turned around and around. And as she looked in all directions, she said, "No way!" Well, when she didn't take it, I decided I wanted it. So I set out to prove the 640 acres on my own. Homesteading is where I had to have a structure on a portion of the land for no less than 3 years. I had to prove it was mine by living on it that whole time. In addition, I had to have at least 2 neighbors testify that I did indeed live on the land. Some good neighbors got help from others and built me a 1-room house. They brought me a bed, a table, a chair, and wood, a wood stove. Now, I never burned wood in that stove. There was none around, so I burned cow chips for my cook fire. They also dug a well for me where I not only got water, but also preserved my food in the bucket by lowering it to cooler depths. I had a horse, and I'd ride to town most days for provisions, bringing them back in my saddlebags. A neighbor would bring me game, so I ate the meat as I got it. I never preserved it. I made my living by renting out my 640 acres to ranchers who needed cattle acres. It takes 5 or 6 acres per cow, and my 640 acres allowed room enough for about a dozen cows to graze on. Living by myself and learning to make do were good years. I never got scared. I just met each challenge head on. I became quite a horsewoman, and I could shoot. I was fast in the draw and practiced quite a bit. You never knew where a snake would turn up. One day, a man came by who said he was a cowboy. He asked to have my horse and saddle so he could round up his own horse. Well, he sure didn't look like a cowboy, and I knew all the men in the region. We'd heard that horse thieves were on the prowl. You see, the Army paid top dollar for horses on account of the World War I effort. I told the man, "You can't have my horse." He became quite adamant and said he was going to take the horse and saddle anyway. Then he asked for some matches. I told him, "I'll get you some matches, but I'll not give you my horse." With that, I stepped to the mantel where the matches were, and sitting right there next to beside the matches was my 6-shooter. I turned around and pointed that gun right at him and said, "Get out of here right now and never come back, or I'll put 6 holes in you." He left. I never saw him again, but I did hear from the neighbors that he got 2 horses and saddles from them. Was I scared? Nah, but my mother, who was hiding behind the door, was shaking in her boots. After 3 years of proving the land, I received title from the land office, officially making the land mine. Soon after, I married another homesteader, and we combined our land. He moved in with me. I figured with my husband and me, life would be easier from here on out. The end. I wonder why the expanse of the land bothered Abbie's sister. I wonder what made Abbie feel she could go and take the land and live on it alone. I wonder if she was ever scared living alone on the prairie. I wonder what it was like to have neighbors bring over a bathtub and game and all that was needed. I wonder if we have the same neighborliness today as they did back then. I wonder, since she was quick on the draw, how many times she had to shoot varmints. I wonder if she would have shot the man who said he was a cowboy. I wonder if she was relieved to be married and have a husband and partner on the land with her. And now, our family room reflections. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you, and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and the ones who curse you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." Abram, settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the plain, and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Now the people of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. The Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, "Raise your eyes now, and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land you see I will give you, and to your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if one can count the dust of the earth, your offspring can also be counted. Rise up, walk through the length and the breadth of the land, for I will give it to you." So Abram moved his tent and came and settled by the oaks of Mamre, which are at Hebron, and there he built an altar to the Lord. Genesis 1 through 3, 12 through 18. And now our recollections. God said to Abram to get up and go to the land he would show him. Abram got up. Abbie's sister went to the land, looked at the land, and was intimidated by the expanse and decided not to take the land. Abbie took it instead. Abbie must have had a vision for the land and for her future by just looking at the expanse. God told Abraham to walk through the length and the breadth of the land that God would give to him and his descendants. Abbie worked her land by renting it out and eventually expanded her land with the man to whom she was to marry. And they raised their descendants on the land. Did God give to both Abram and Sarai and to Abbie the land? What has God given you? Tell your story.